question for you out there. Do you honestly just like it? I get the feeling that there's not that case. Poker face. Everyone has the right to go and see the other side. So break down the barricade before it ends in pain. I know you were not meant to follow. The revolution in your heart will guide your way, will guide your way through the dark. Remember, only you can redefine your word to bring that dream alive like the flame in your eyes. If you remain a soul unheard, what would they give? What would they give in return? If you were left alone and travel down into the depths and wave their flag, we can drive them mad.
You just got me for right now. Oh my god, that is unreadable. Jesus. Jesus. Oh my god. Maybe I should adjust that. Do some changes while I'm live, you know? Make it not look like crap. One's the right over. Bu. Hey, Ace, what's up? Hold on, I gotta make this look better. Ugh. Mm. Arya. Mm. Yeah, well, yeah, it is. It's damn stretch. Speaking of One Piece filler and stretching, how has the One Piece log been? I only watched like the first episode, I think, of Return to Sabaody, and I thought the pacing was rough in the other direction for once, which is weird to say. Probably like that's better. That's how about that? How's this? I think we're gonna have to type something. Also, there's something. This. Oh, it's a different string. Yo, you're not watching it? That's better. That's better. Hold on, let me try something. Ah, crap. Did you watch any of the episodes of One Piece log? Any of the episodes? Cause yeah, that first episode, the pacing again, it was definitely better, way better than the original, but the pacing was still rough again in the other direction. I think that this works. I think this works. Probably put some music on. But anyway, we're not starting up just yet because Sir Gravesaka, he's a little busy. Something came up and he's still getting some things set up. So it's going to be a moment. For the time being, just talk, hang out, fucking, I don't know, do whatever. It's a small world, it's a small universe. Remember, we used to get along to this song. Owari wa Hajimaria, Hajimarira, Owari. I think. Oh, absolutely. Dressrosa is the one that needs it. I think Fishman Island is a great starting place to build off from. But afterwards, it needs to get into other stuff, you know? Fishman Island is a good starting point to build off of because Fishman Island is also not great. But afterwards, I need to see it evolve into everything else. I don't know. What I would like for them to do is half the year do basically kind of like pace things out in terms of the arcs, where like once the anime proper comes back, finish up all the way to the end of Egghead, then take another break and do Punk Hazard, and then maybe take another break at another point halfway through Elbath, do Dressrosa. You know, do that. That'd be nice. Take breaks. Breaks are good for you. I have not played the Oracle games. Those are the only Zelda game I have not played any form of. And I don't mean beat. I mean I haven't played them. I really need to. That's something I want to try and get done for this. Be like a little goal of mine. Seasonal would be ideal. I think I'm predicting that the Wit remake is going to go all the way to, I mean, what they would like. They would like for it to go all the way to the time skip. And then you can stop there. You can stop there. And then you can watch One Piece Log for the rest of it. You know, just go from there. Hold on. I just got some bad news about the dub of Daima. Okay. If you guys can give me a moment. Hey, talk. It seems like they can't. Okay, for whatever reason, OBS isn't picking you up. Let me adjust. I can hear you. I can hear you fine. It's just for whatever reason OBS isn't picking you up. I got to make that adjustment. Miyabi, your profile picture is Miyabi? Ah. I'm proud of you. No, Acebreaker in the chat was like, hey, Miyabi. Why is it still not picking you up? Like. Okay, say something. Nope. What the hell? What the hell? Why is it not picking you up? You guys can't hear him, right? Yeah, I have it set so that it pulls specifically from Discord. Hmm. Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one. Yeah, no, they can't hear you. What the freak? Here, I'm just gonna like try and like. I'm gonna try something. Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just gonna try something. I'm gonna like try and like set up the whole thing again. Okay, talk. No. No. I had no work. I don't want to go. I don't want to switch over until get this going, you know? Yeah, I switched just to YouTube. I feel like it's probably just going to be overall better in terms of like just keeping keeping the stream quality going. It would probably just be easier. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. And do this. Okay, talk. Killing myself. Killing myself. Just don't work. Mm. 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 All sorts of wrong. Oh, wait, hold on. Talk. Nope. Ah. Ah. Oh. Beep. Ah. Okay, let me. Oh, I don't. Can I do that? Oh, I think I had it set for like $5 or something. $5. What? Yeah, it's just not working. Ah! Oh wow, thank you. $5. $5. Just give me $5. Like that one streamer lady who was being like entitled to people's money. Yeah, she was being a right bad not a right cock. A right cock as talk. No, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do audio output capture and set it to my headphones.
Or you could call me on the phone and then put it next to your mic. Worst case.
That could also work.
We could do
hey, how's this? How's this,
Hello?
everybody?
Does
Can
it
you
work?
hear him?
Can you hear me?
It looks good on OBS.
Can I be heard? Am I in?
I'm in.
I'm in. I have no idea if I'm in.
So, yeah, it's working. They say they can hear us now.
Let's go. What's up, fellas?
Okay, well, I don't know about you, but are you ready for the TNAP?
I am ready
This
for.
is not a podcast.
I am
well-
ready.
Well, I got something I gotta say.
Yeah.
First off, I am officially declaring war on a certain. I am out of focus, but I don't care because I'm gonna switch to something else here in a moment. I am declaring war
Yeah.
on a certain YouTuber called Totally Not Mark. He does really good videos,
What?
and actually, they're really shitty now. Now I hate
Why are you
them.
declaring war on him? What
Because-
did he do?
He started a thing called
Oh,
Not
right.
a Pod,
Not a podcast. Yeah.
not a podcast.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to make him aware of our existence.
And
because
you know what? Because of that, I'm gonna use
sure he's
that.
not. And then tell him that we had it copyrighted and patented.
Yeah. And I'm gonna use that as an excuse to do this. This was the plan the whole time. It's not fully set up. Oh. Hold on, I just switched it. There we go. No, it's coming. Yeah, I'm gonna like try and fix that. Hold on. There we go. I've done this. Oh, it's still kind of there though. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta get rid of it. Yeah, it's gone. This was the plan. This was the plan the whole time. Ah! Bah! All along. Oh, yeah, sure. Actually, give me 1 second. Ah, blue. Blue. Did you change, like, the chroma... change the chroma key on your thing to... Yeah. Yeah. Something that's just not what your avatar, like, is, like, a big color on your avatar. Because now that it's blue, there's like more blue. So like, change it to like, no, there's like a pink and a purple, crap. No, because there is cyan in your image. Yeah, look on the, like on the inside. Yeah. Set it to like... Wait. Go to background color. Switch it. Isn't there like transparent? No, what the heck? Why does the transparent not work? Maybe. Yeah, we'll just go with it. We'll roll with it for now. Yeah, change it back if you want. This is I personally am just never gonna be happy. I'm not allowed to be. So yeah. Is the audio screwed up again? Are you kidding me? Can you talk?
Hey, what's up? This is still
Okay,
still
this is just what's gonna have to work.
okay.
Whatever. Now
What,
listen up. Here's the story.
Now, how is it fucked up?
I don't know. I guess they just couldn't hear you or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. We'll tackle it as it comes along. Oh, now it
Mm,
works. Now it works.
Cool. Whatever.
All right.
I don't care. I'm so upset. My life is so hard.
It is a hard life that you lead. I can attest to that. He's got a really difficult life, fellas.
It's a hard not life for me.
Absolutely.
Anyway, let's get into the first story.
First story's good. It's my favorite
First, the good story.
one.
So, first off, switch over to the right screen page so that you all could see what we're talking about. Yeah, you gotta see this. So, I don't know if any of you are on Twitter.com. I am not calling it X. I am dead naming X. So, there's this Twitter account called @_Kasuga_Ichiban. Now, Ichiban is the new main character of the Like a Dragon series. He's the new main character of the Like a Dragon series. Pretty cool guy. Pretty neat guy. A pretty cool guy. Yeah, he's a good boy. You know, he's a good old something or another. Well, there's this one Twitter account that's popped up as time has gone on. This guy, what? Dewey? Dewey popped up? Oh, I can't. I gotta be signed in. I'm not signed in on this browser. Oh, well. Anyway, basically there's just this Twitter account popped up. This Twitter account popped up. They can't hear you again. I am going to hurt myself today to see if I still feel.
Don't hurt yourself today.
There was whatever. This is great. Great
Sure
first outing for the Demon Hunt.
Listen, if it wasn't a little scuffed, it would not be the podcast. Whatever this is,
Yeah.
It would not be whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever.
So it's all right. It's all right.
Well, anyway, this Twitter account popped up. A few months ago. @_Kasuga_Ichiban that tweets every once in a while. We'll just tweet a picture in both Japanese and in English. And it's photos of Ichiban. This is Ichiban's Twitter account. You know?
That's him.
Yeah. So the thing with what makes this so notable, beside the fact that this is just Ichiban's Twitter account, is the fact that let's be real here. This is someone, obviously role-playing as Ichiban. However, there's been a big debate over whether or not this is actually Sega or if it is
Ichiban himself.
Or it's
Because
someone...
I thought it was.
Yeah. Well, the big debate is the fact that this account has not only has this account been tweeting just a bunch of stuff where it's like, oh, you could very easily if you can hack into the game and you can make some adjustments, move the camera around, yada yada yada, screw with the models and so on. Well, this account somehow was able to make an incredibly high quality model of good old Mac from Yakuza 3, 4, and 5, a beloved classic fan favorite. He was a side character who was recurring in 3, 4, and 5, and what he would do is he would teach you to take photos. And these photos would then allow you to unlock new moves in some really hilarious scenarios. But Mac here hasn't been seen since Yakuza 5. He's just been absent. He's gone. Yet somehow, for the Dragon Engine, they have this super high quality model of Mac.
Yep. Well, they had to. I mean, where did he go?
So it's become a debate about whether or not this is Sega or if this is a fan account. And if it is a fan account, it's an exceedingly high quality fan account because not only do they have Mac, but they also have they posted this picture of the revolver bar from Infinite Wealth. This was posted back in September 29th. This was long before they had shown off anything about the revolve bar in the soon to be releasing Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Now you could think, oh, someone just went into the code or that someone just went into Infinite Wealth and then they just posed the models and yada yada yada. Well, here's the thing. This specific setup for the room is not how it's set up in Infinite Wealth. This is how it's set up in Pirate Yakuza. But the thing about Pirate Yakuza, when this was initially tweeted, no one knew the room looked like this yet. They hadn't revealed this is what it looked like, meaning that either they have some insane foresight, this fan, or they are someone at Sega who had access specifically to this room and knew this is what the room was going to look like, and they used this version of the room, the one from the game that is not out yet.
Yeah, something's a little fishy here. I'm starting to think that it might be a Sega employee.
Because here's an example. This is from Pirate Yakuza. This is how it looked in Infinite Wealth. There is a changing room there that is just not in Infinite Wealth. And lastly, they also posted this really, really nice photo of post Infinite Wealth Kiryu and Haruka. And who's that? Who's that last guy there? Actually, you can't really see him super well in the stream, but there's another guy here. That looks to be like Haruka's husband.
Could that be Yuta?
It might be Yuta, but here's the thing about Yuta. Yuta is modeled after a real dude. He's modeled after a real dude.
Real dude this time.
So
no, wait, he was modeled after a real dude before.
So it's just a bunch of where are they getting all of this? Either this is a fan with insane level resources, or this is absolutely someone at Sega screwing around. This might actually be some kind of guerrilla marketing also.
What do you think?
I think it honestly, as time has gone on, I've started leaning towards this is guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
This just seems like I just don't believe this is some kind of fan with insane level quality, because this is just this model of Mac is way too good. This is way too high quality. It makes me think that there might be a Yakuza 3 Kiwami or Yakuza Kiwami 3 in the works or something. That, or they're bringing back Black Mac. I call him Black Mac, by the way, because I am Mac. And,
so when we talk about him, we differentiate him by saying Mac and then Black Mac.
Yes.
It's the only way we can do it.
But no, I think this is some kind of guerrilla marketing. This Twitter account is great though, because they do post a lot of crazy stuff. Here's him with Kei-san. Here's him dressed up like Erdrick from Dragon Quest 3. And so many other things. They also post a little video with a little animation. And the way the camera moves is super realistic to someone hand holding a smartphone. So it's just this is really cool. This is super high quality. They also have this pretty consistent thing where they remember that they need to censor the Korean mafia members who are part of Ichiban's party. They remember to censor their faces in the photos that he posts online because
that's so cool.
No, it's just all of this is just super cool. It's just super cool. It's a really cool Twitter account. Even if it is just a fan thing, this is rad. Here's him when Dragon Quest 3 Remake came out.
Oh my god.
It's so cool. It's so cool. I like it a lot.
This
Anyway,
is actually the best form of guerrilla marketing I think I've ever seen.
no, it's just so like heartwarming and like, oh, this is fun. This is fun.
Yeah.
Here's they drew faces on Adachi. Is fun.
That's
Anyway,
adorable.
I guess
That's
that's it for
adorable.
the first story. It's just kind of a neat little thing. I like this a lot. There's a mystery to it, but yeah.
It's already the coolest story.
Well, I guess keeping up with Sega.
Yep.
Unfortunately, on the other side of things, Sega. Did you see Sonic 3? Did you see the movie?
Sonic through the movie? I did not see it yet. No.
You should go see it.
Oh yeah, I will.
Do you
I will.
like Sonic? Do you like Sonic? Did you like Sonic as a kid? Do you like Sonic Adventure 2 in particular?
Yeah, it was good. It's a good one. And
Yeah.
I and all yes to all those things. Absolutely, yeah.
You should see Sonic 3. Did you see the first two Sonic
What?
movies?
Yeah.
What'd you think of them?
I thought they were good. I thought they were
You-
fine. I mean,
you-
I thought like it got better as it went on. Like in
should-
terms of like, huh?
You should see Sonic 3.
I should see Sonic 3. Okay. I'll
Have
see
you
Sonic
have
3.
you watched the Knuckles show?
No. Do I need to watch the Knuckles show?
You don't need to. Well, okay. Okay, here's the right way to put it. You need to watch the Knuckles show, not
I need to watch
because
the Knuckles show.
not because it's necessary to understand Sonic 3, but because you need to.
I need to.
You need to. Look at those boobies that just popped up in the ads.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
See,
I
mine's
love
not current.
TV.
I'm looking at stream, so I can't see it currently. So everything
Oh,
is not.
well,
a
they're gonna
surprise.
pop up here in a moment, so
I
that'll be
can't
fun.
wait.
Anyway,
I cannot wait.
Sonic Superstars
Mhm.
apparently was a disappointment. Which I don't know if you played this one. I played it. I thought it was good until the game just like kept getting harder, and I felt like it got unreasonable and it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
But it launched like 3 days before Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is an infinitely better game. I think that might be my favorite 2D Mario.
Mhm.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, I think it being a disappointment critically and sales wise, there was a lot of things that were like just really obviously wrong with how they were approaching it. I
Mhm.
think it's a decent game. I think it's a decent Sonic game. I feel like people are a little too hard on it, but like, I don't know. It's just, it disappointed. It was not the success that they needed. Thankfully, right after this coming after Frontiers, which is, I think Frontiers is the best performing Sonic game, period.
Is
Just-
it? I believe it.
I think so. It's definitely the best selling 3D Sonic game. I don't know about Sonic game in general, but it is the best selling 3D game.
Uh-huh.
Did you play Shadow Generations?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. We
I
talked
beat that.
about it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Shadow Generations is great.
It's really good.
It's great. It's great. I
Really
can't
good
wait
game.
to see what they do next. I'm very excited.
Mhm.
I think Sonic's in the best spot it's been in a long time. But Sonic Superstars, unfortunately, was just not what Sega was wanting, I guess.
Well, so is it like Superstars as a game that was not good, or was it like the fact that people don't want 2D Sonic anymore, or what's going on here?
So I've seen a number of people talk about like why this game just did not hit in the same way as other Sonic games, and I think it is in part because its main gimmick was the multiplayer.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer, from a glance, you could tell was ass.
I think I
And-
remember watching Oni play a little bit. I remember seeing it was a co-op.
It's the multiplayer is awful. It's awful. This is not a
Yeah.
game that is good for multiplayer like that. And it just, I think past that gimmick, the rest of it is like, it's just a 2D Sonic game. It's just a classic Sonic game. There's just like not much else to it. I'm more positive
Recycling
on
the
it.
old stages again.
Kind of, I mean, no, I think it was
They do
actually
that a lot.
entirely brand new stages.
Really?
Yeah, which
Okay.
is funny. But it's just
That's
like,
nice.
I think it's just like, this just wasn't, what people wanted or what was interesting people. And not only that, but it releasing alongside Frontier, Wonder was just a bad idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who thought this was a good idea, releasing it the same day, because Wonder was just such an obvious, like, no, go with that one. Go with that one. Better.
Are they trying to like combat it, or what's going on here?
Um, well, in this specific thing is them just essentially the president of Sega said that it was a disappointment. They talked a little bit about it. Specifically, he said, "That's a very good question. We were trying to do something creative with Sonic Frontiers. With Sonic Superstars, it turned out to be a disappointment in terms of the outcome compared to what we delivered. This time, we have Sonic X Shadow Generations and the next Sonic movie and blah, 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 blah." They just kind of goes on and talks about other things. Earlier in the year, Sega actually noted that Sonic Superstars has generally been well received by those who've played it, but it fell short of the initial forecast. So he is probably talking about sales-wise specifically. The company pointed out that the title's launch coincided with competing titles in the same genre. Yeah, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I think Wonder just killed it. I think Wonder killed it. It shouldn't have released when it did.
Do you think it also might be similar to sales figures that, like, I know they're completely separate, but it's interesting that you take Square Enix having the same issue, and then you look at those Japanese companies and you're wondering, are they expecting something more here? Like, what's up? I doubt it's linked in any way, shape, or form, but it's just interesting that that's happening at the same time. Not meeting expectations. Like, what expectations do you really have at this point? I gotta wonder.
No, it's. I feel like Square Enix, their problem is just that like they're expecting too much of 16 and 16 and 7 Rebirth and all these things. Like Square Enix has always been like, because those games do sell well. It's just they don't sell to what Square Enix wants, and then it just kind of becomes a question of like, well, what did they expect?
I think they wanted it to be like the next best thing, like that it was when it was. Like 7, like original 7 type stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's just not what kids want to play anymore.
No, I think, guess. And I also think 7 Rebirth also just had the fact that like this is a sequel, and regardless of what they said, it was very clear that like, no, you need to have played Remake before you played Rebirth. So like, no matter what, there was going to be that hurdle.
I mean, like, are kids picking up these games like they did with 7 back in the day? Is that happening, or is it not happening?
No, we're playing Fortnite.
Yeah, we're playing Fortnite. Exactly.
Playing Fortnite, and
there should be no reason.
Nikkei just popped up as an ad on this page, and they're playing the Nikkei and all that.
Sounds about right.
So watching the masses jiggle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but they had a crossover with Chainsaw Man, and that was weird.
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, Makiba's ass jiggled.
That's cool. I'll take that. Okay.
Anyway, that's not the only problem with Sonic that they have right now. But this is kind of like a different thing. It's not in terms of a sales disappointment. This is just like something else entirely. So, Live and Learn. I don't know if you heard about this. Live and Learn.
No, this is the first time I've seen it.
Crush 40. Musician and Sonic songwriter Johnny Gioli. He's the guy who you're listening to sing all those Crush 40 songs. He is suing Sega of America over ownership of the Sonic Adventure 2 theme. He's suing them for the Live and Learn.
I figure it's kind of stupid, but like if you do it for a product, then it absolutely is the rights of the company that commissioned it or something like that.
So it seems like, okay, so basically the article
it shouldn't be, but it is.
Basically, the article says that Gioli has claimed Sega only has the rights to the lyrics of the song and not the master recording and musical composition. And basically, he was unaware that Sega had been using the song in at least 25 different video games, television shows, live performances, events, and films. He was just basically just not aware that they had been using it, which feels weird to me. Like, I feel like you should have known that, especially because your bandmate is like one of the main series composers for Sonic.
Absolutely.
I feel like he should have known that.
And gotten money for it.
Well, he's suing for money, just hey, he's seeking $500,000 in damages, and then a further $500,000 in restitution, which is a lot. But to be honest, I feel like for Sega, that's probably actually not a lot. If I had to guess, this is probably going to get settled out of court. I think the main question is, will we be seeing or hearing this guy on a Sonic game in the future? As well as just
how is this been lately.
How is this going to affect all the Crush 40 songs?
Yeah.
Well, no, you're right. We haven't heard them.
We haven't heard them lately, so I wonder.
To be fair, in Shadow Generations, there is heavy use of All Hail Shadow, specifically the Crush 40 version. But that's a remix that's reusing. It's reusing the vocals from the original recording that Sega has. So like, I'm sure they could probably keep using Crush 40 songs. They just, got to make sure it all checks out. Hopefully this doesn't damage the relationship, just because Crush 40 is just so integral, and that would be awful if they lost it because of that.
I feel like it's gonna. I don't know. You sue someone, even if it's a company, I still feel like that's hard to come back from. In terms of like relationship. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope.
I don't know.
I hope it works out. I hope it works out.
We'll see how it goes. But that's interesting piece of news right there.
Well, another piece of Sega-related, bit different, but the Persona series, Atlas, is owned by Sega. Persona series producer on the series turning point, future development process, and the reasons for male student protagonists. And it's that last part that I actually want to talk about. The rest of it, I couldn't care less. But this is just a very, let's say, interesting quote. Let me ask you this. Do you remember back when, you would have learned about this retroactively, but in the lead up to SMT4's release, it was, they were asked, the SMT team, they were asked, why could we ever get a female protagonist in the future? And at that time, they said, we feel as though male protagonist makes more sense because men would be better at surviving. Which is just stupid. That is just stupid.
Interesting.
They could have just said, we didn't think about it. Or we didn't really want to. You could have said that. That would have been fine. But they said something stupid. Well, a similar question has been asked of the new Persona series producer, Mr. Wada. It was like, hey, could we ever get a femme protagonist? And this one actually has more precedent because of Femc, because of what was her name? Kotone Shiomi or something. I don't know. So when asked about that, Wada said, Persona is a coming-of-age story. The setting that best encapsulates this theme features students who are on the cusp of adulthood. Another part of it is that being a student is something most people have experienced, so it's easier to resonate. As for gender, mental age plays a role. For the same high school age, it's said that girls tend to have a higher mental age compared to boys. Because we're depicting growth, we feel that male students as the main character represents that the most. Then why first off, your main characters don't go through an arc because they're silent.
Right.
They're silent. They don't say anything.
They don't talk.
It's everyone else who goes through a character arc. So I don't think you need to have I don't know if being like they need to be able to grow and develop is a good thing. It is a good enough excuse. Also, mentally, people don't stop growing. Ever. They could be fully grown and they could still grow.
That is true. That is a fundamental truth.
Persona ain't exactly a series that deals with physical body growth.
It sounds like it sounds like a translation thing where it's like, I don't know, I feel like there wasn't enough details in this thing. I don't agree with what they said, but I feel like that can play a part in it.
No, that's absolutely fair. And a lot of these translations, I can just, the translation could just be wrong.
But it is a weird thing to just, even if you're translating it and you just bring it out, you're just like, is that really what they said? Like, let's make sure that's what
mhm,
they're saying here.
yeah.
But I don't know. I just like to give the
Is-
benefit of the doubt, but that's a strange thing to say.
the quick and easy joke would be to be like, oh, Atlas being sexist again, and like,
Yo, those is
you
Japanese
know,
developers.
what are you expecting? Atlas hates women, yada yada yada. And it's like, no. I think for whatever reason, a lot of developers feel this need to be like, oh, we actually have a very good reason for that, to try and like justify it and explain it, but also make it seem like they thought about that. And it's like, sometimes you can just be like, we didn't think about that, or we didn't want
You
to.
can just be like, I don't know.
Just be like,
Yeah.
we just haven't done it. That's fine.
I feel like, though, it's also just like an East and West sort of thing. They definitely have different, um, like, they have different views on, I guess, life and how it's I mean, the social and political climate definitely comes into play for all these things, and obviously when it comes to like more Eastern productions, they're a bit behind on the times compared to us when it comes to social and political issues. I don't think that's weird to say.
Mhm.
So it's not surprising that they would probably think this is fine to say if they didn't care about Western audiences.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know if they're even like considering that in the first place. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing to note, I feel, with different like cultures playing a role in that. Um, because I feel like a decade ago, that would have been fine to say in the West.
Mhm.
Now, not so much. Obviously, it's not really true, but it's interesting to see how things change in such a quick time.
Mhm.
But no, it's interesting. Good evening, Proto.
Hello,
Hell,
brother.
Ubisoft got the same question back when Unity launched, and they said animating women is hard, and also, yeah, there could just be it could just be Ubisoft being fucking stupid.
So my
But
understanding, I never played Unity. I never played Unity and never really cared enough
I
to look into it. But
yeah,
from my understanding, the explanation I got, obviously their explanation was stupid, but from what I understand, in the co-op for that game, you were actually playing as 4 different versions of the same dude. They were just different colors.
yeah,
And if that's the case, then I think that's fine. I
yeah.
think that's fine for them to be 4 different versions of the same dude and for there to not be a woman. If they're all like different people, that's another story. There's an actual debate there. But if they're all just the same dude, then like whatever. Like
Right.
it's fine. I don't know. I never played that
All
one.
in all, it comes down to what you said basically, where it's just like you could have just not said anything and it'd been fine.
Yeah, some developers need to know that you don't need to have an answer for everything.
Less is more, yeah, type
Oh,
thing.
everyone played as him? Everyone plays as the main character? Cool.
Arno in Unity, yeah.
I'll be honest, I saw that as Amo. I read that as
I did
Amo.
too at first, and yeah, I did too. Then I was like, wait a minute.
Amo. I was like, that's a weird name. Now, if they're all playing the same dude, then like that should have been enough of an explanation.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what they were really thinking, or I think it requires a bit more context to make a conversation on it.
Again, I think a lot of it is just like from a PR perspective, they want to come off as like, no, we've thought of everything. That
No, we
question
thought
you
of
had,
everything. Yeah,
we thought about that thoroughly. And this is our very official, very good reason response. It's like, you can just say that you didn't think about it. Come on.
yeah, and it just wasn't a good response.
Yeah. Anyway, play
You
Nikke.
know.
Play Nikke.
Play Nikkei.
Play Nikke, apparently. That's what Persona Central wants us to do.
I'm not surprised.
Look at those asses.
I know. Segue into the next thing. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, guys, you want to know what else is like a really stupid thing for companies to do? This is like a really stupid thing. You guys know Funko Pops? Funko Pops suck. I have never purchased a Funko Pop. Every Funko Pop I own was given to me against my will. Well, I don't like them. And now I have an even more legitimate reason to not like them. So the website itch.io, or itch.io, they have been, they've had the whole website taken down because a few people on itch.io posted, like, they posted stuff that, like, contained some Funko Pop things in it, and then Funko, using an AI-powered brand protection software, basically just was like, okay, no, shut down your whole website. Shut down your whole website. And the whole thing was temporarily gone. It is back now, but it's still just like this insane, like, what the hell? What?
I'm back.
Welcome back. Let me explain
Thank
to you why I have a very legitimate reason to hate Funko Pops.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see, you know the website itch.io? Itch.io?
Yeah.
Well, they a lot of people post their little indie games on there.
Right.
Well, itch.io back in December was temporarily taken down because they got hit with a bunch of, like, claims and DMCAs from Funko Pop. The reason being that they were using an AI-powered brand protection software that just decided to say that everything on itch.io is ours. Take it down. In fact, we're going to take it down ourselves because that's ours.
Huh. How about that?
Itch.io did eventually come back, but that was a really awful thing to do. But you know what, also, this could just be the program. It could have just been the program that did it. It could have just been the program. Like Funko might have been, like, super reasonable about it. Hey, well, here's a follow-up.
Hmm.
Funko Pop tattled to itch.io's mom. The guy who owns itch.io got a text from his mom saying that she got a call from a company saying that her son was posting some really bad stuff. Why do they know?
No way.
Why do they know?
That you don't do that. What the hell?
Why do they know his mom's number? Why did they go to his mom?
Funko not only took down the entire site, but also texted the dude's mom.
They were like trying to threaten him via his mom.
Funko needs to learn a little bit about boundaries.
Bro, what the hell?
What in the fucking world?
I'm gonna call your mom if you do something I don't like. I'm gonna tattle on you. It's
hilarious.
like it's like elementary school.
This is that's what okay. So I work at a senior living facility, and it is absolutely high school when you get down to it. The people don't change, so it makes absolutely 100% sense that some person in charge of Funko would absolutely do this.
It's
so just stupid. It's the dumbest thing.
This is so immature. God. Well, you know what else is stupid? You know what else is a stupid company thing? Because we could keep this segue going for a minute. Buy Naruto, Jesus Christ.
Buy Naruto right now.
Jesus Christ. Former Blizzard boss blasts Marvel Rivals similarity to Overwatch. I don't know if you've been playing Marvel Rivals at all, but it's basically Jesus Christ, this is so much Naruto. It's basically killed Overwatch in the eyes of people who still wanted to play Overwatch.
Oh no, yeah, I got like 40 hours on Rivals right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mike Ybarra, former Blizzard president, he called Marvel Rivals an Overwatch clone, which, let's be real. Oh, hold on. It wasn't actually Funko that called his mom. It was the brand protection service. That's still
Oh,
awful. That's still
yeah.
awful, but you know what? You know what? Okay,
That's
that's
terrible,
not
but
as
it's good
bad.
to know. It's good to distinguish who did the calling of the mom here.
Yes,
So
but
that's
that's
good.
still awful. Like Jesus
That's
Christ.
goofy as hell. Holy
Oh,
shit.
anyway, back to Marvel Rivals.
Yep.
Mike Ybarra was calling it an Overwatch clone, which let's be real, it is.
Yes, it is.
It is an Overwatch clone.
Mm-hmm.
If this can load. But in his tweet, uh, he in one of his tweets he claimed he was trying to make the point of how it's just a clone, and one of the
Mm-hmm.
ways he said it was he was accusing it of being a ripoff was by saying that Widowmaker is in Overwatch and then Black Widow is in Marvel Rivals.
Is he saying because they're both called Widow and Snipers? I mean,
Yes.
the sniper thing, sure, because, like, Black Widow doesn't just snipe.
Mm-hmm.
She goes in and kicks, I guess. But, like, I don't know if they realize that, Marvel characters were around a lot longer than, Overwatch characters, so that part doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
The
No.
sniping thing, sure. She doesn't have to snipe. She has other things in her kit that lets her not snipe if she needs to get away, but overall her role is a sniper. Even when you take her down or Hawkeye down, the character that you're playing as makes a comment says, "I took down the sniper." So that is definitely their role. But
Mm-hmm.
if you are referring to the fact that she is called Widow and also snipes, I'm sorry, but that doesn't quite hold up.
The fact that it's specifically the accusation that like, oh, they are both spider themed is so stupid. Is so
Mhm.
silly. They needed like it's a good thing he is the former president because Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's the dumbest shit ever. Like it is no secret that Rivals is a ripoff of Overwatch, but it does quite a couple things better, which is why it's doing better. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how long they can keep it up for, but they are clearly doing a lot better than it. And they've added a lot of cool things to the formula. They've added destructible environments. They've added team ups where if you have two different types of heroes in the same team, that you get an extra ability based on like that. So for example, if I'm playing Spider-Man and I have a tank on my team, Venom's a tank in this one, and Venom's on my team as well while I'm playing Spider-Man, I, as Spider-Man, get an extra ability. If Squirrel Girl is on my team and I'm playing Spider-Man, she gets an extra ability. So that's a really, really cool thing they added. It's not just like, hey, look, it's Overwatch. It's, hey, look, it's Overwatch, but check out all this cool shit that we put into.
Mm-hmm.
And no roll queue. They do need to add a roll queue, I agree. They didn't want to do that, but I think they should at least have that as an option. I don't think it's good to not have that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's
But
so I haven't actually played it yet. But I'm kind of this mind of like I think it is gonna do well. It's gonna be around, but I feel like this is just the case for a lot of these live service games. Not even just this one in particular, but just live service in general. At some point, something's gonna happen. I just feel like at some point something's gonna happen that's gonna really hurt it.
yeah, like Proto said, it gives them like 2 seasons more. Yeah, I think it'll be around a little bit longer than that. But I mean, it's fair to say I don't think anybody's like surprised at the notion that people would think that it would not last. Well,
Mm-hmm.
first off, nothing lasts, and second thing, yeah, I mean it's eventually things just come to a close, and sometimes they can't keep up with the production value of it. Like they added 2 new heroes in the new season, and they're adding 2 new at the second half of the season. That's more than Overwatch adds in a year, hero wise. It's hard to see how they could keep up, and maybe they won't,
I'm
or maybe people will
curious.
just get tired of it. I don't
I'm
know.
curious how releasing characters at such like a fast rate is going to affect the balancing, because that was something
Yeah.
else with Overwatch, is that Overwatch released 4 characters a year, and the balancing by the balancing very quickly got thrown out the window and got royally screwed up.
Yeah.
So
And you can't help but wonder if that's like a reality of that kind of in this genre of doing that, or if it's just Blizzard. because I don't think either one would be surprising.
It's just the fact that, like, for every new character, you're gonna have to rebalance the whole thing to make sure it all works. And, like, at some point, if you are adding characters that consistently, at some point, it just feels like things are gonna like, things can very easily fall apart.
Right. And also, what Speed said, some of the skin prices are a bit much. I agree. And also bot matches is a tad frustrating. I also agree. So essentially, if you lose a lot, they will put you against bots.
I
or
heard
something
about
like that,
this. I think that's
Yeah.
really funny.
They'll put you against bots. I've been against the bots sometimes, and sometimes I lose.
Damn,
It's crazy.
you
It's
get
like
put in gay
sometimes
baby jail.
sometimes the gay baby jail is actually super hard. It's insane. I don't know how they did that. But obviously it's a team game, so if one person's performance doesn't match the others, then anything could happen. But still, it's like, damn.
Who do you mean?
Those things go hard. Oh, I mean Spider-Man. Absolutely.
Spider-Man, from
But
what I
Spider-Man
understand,
can play him well.
Spider-Man, from what I understand, is like almost like a beginner's trap, because Spider-Man is like the most popular character to ever exist. Yet he's also like one of the most technically demanding characters in the game. So it's like every Spider-Man is either going to be actually Peter Parker, actually just like the best person to ever play the game ever, or it's gonna be like an actual hindrance.
Yeah, so he's a squishy assassin, basically. And which totally fits, not the character lore. I think if any of these characters lore wise fit in the game, it wouldn't be playable. But character wise, yeah, making Spidey an assassin is about as good as you can do. But he's very, very squishy, so you have to aim really well, and your combo doesn't necessarily finish off the person you're going after, even at the lowest health pool that a character can have. So that alone makes it very difficult. I got pretty good at it. And I do quite well for it, I think. Like, I've gone like plenty of matches where I just didn't die, but I got like the most kills in the team. It's happened before. But yeah, it's definitely like, if you try it, you're gonna realize how hard it is. But the web swinging is top notch. That is some really good web swinging. You can either have it on auto, or you can aim at a specific anchor point, shoot your web there, and it'll swing you based on what you're like attached to. It's actually the craziest, coolest thing ever.
Let me know when they add Gwenpool.
Yeah, I know Spider-Man's overrated. I get it. Yeah, but no, it's when they add Batman, I'll let you know.
Yeah, Batman is Marvel.
Batman is also probably as overrated as Spider-Man. But anyway, next thing.
He's overrated, but the other side.
He's just the other side Spider-Man.
Exactly. Anyway, so what's up with Ubisoft? Have you been paying attention to Ubisoft in 2024?
They've just been failing miserably, like back and forth.
I have one story here, but I also have another story, another story, another story, and even another story that popped up today.
Maybe I haven't been keeping a close eye on it, but I'm seeing them here now. Yeah, that's a lot.
You want to know what's fun about all these stories?
Give me the specifics.
They're all from the last month, basically.
Oh my god, wait, from 1 month?
Yeah, Ubisoft is imploding.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
that's
basically 2024 was not very kind to Ubisoft. They launched a number of different games, and almost all of those games bombed. Star Wars Outlaw being being like the big one, because it's Star Wars. It should be huge.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. I didn't even realize.
Now, was that the beginning of this whole story? Was that the Outlaws game? Is that like the beginning? Is that like the first in this little series of like 1 month shitter things that just happened that we've got?
No, it is a part of this last month, but Outlaws just like it's probably the biggest hit to Ubisoft. That game just bombed horribly. In fact, one of these stories is how Ubisoft is demanding Steam remove player count charts from public access because it makes it harder for them to obscure how badly this game did to their investors. because
They're-
Ubisoft can be like, oh, it underperformed, and then the investors can go, well, what does that mean? Because it could be like, oh, it didn't, it came under like 5% under what we wanted, or it came under 45% under what we wanted. So they just go online and they can look up how many people are playing it on Steam, and it gives them an idea, and it's bombing horribly. Horribly. The last...
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia was incredible, but they didn't give a crap about that game.
And
They
just
didn't give
do
a
anything
crap.
with it, yeah.
I'm shocked that game came out. That game got
No,
greenlit.
they're probably the most out of touch gaming company I think ever at the moment.
At if there's any game company that's gonna die, it's gonna be them.
Yeah, 100%.
And it'll suck because they have a number of things that are like, oh, this is too good. This is too good.
Yeah.
So basically, quick summary: Tencent and the Guillemot brothers, Tencent, big Chinese company, buying up a lot of game studios, investing in a bunch of them. Ubisoft started talks with them about a month ago to try and buy Ubisoft, try and save the company. So it's like, oh, that's not good if Ubisoft is the one approaching them about a buyout. Following that, Michael Ansel, who left the company a long time ago, he's the guy who created Rayman and Beyond Good and Evil, and he was directing Beyond Good and Evil 2 until he left back in 2020. Beyond Good and Evil 2, I don't know about you. I don't know if you paid attention to that. That game's never coming out.
No.
That game's never coming out.
No, it's not.
It's just, this is not happening. It's never going to be a thing. Well, he says that basically a big problem is they don't know that, like a lot of the managers are just not good at communicating. There's a lot of infighting. There's a lot of like, it wasn't clear who was in charge, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the French government would block the buyout by Tencent? That's funny. So even if they wanted...
So what's that about? What's that about? I gotta know.
Basically Ubisoft, they're dying, so they went to Tencent to try and convince them to buy.
Right.
And save their ass. But apparently, the French government would have blocked that buyout because it would have been too big of a deal for a Chinese company to now own a big French company.
So you imagine your company is dying. You go to the last resort. Okay, Tencent, take us. And the French government, who has nothing to do with anything about your company, doesn't know anything about it, is just like, no, sorry, you're not doing that. And they're just like, this is all we have.
I consent. I consent.
I don't. Isn't there someone you forgot to ask? If they don't let this buyout happen, it's like we're dead. That's it. That the company's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
What if they lower the cost of the acquisition? You think that would make them do it?
No.
They're just like, okay, you lowered it by 10 grand. You can do this one.
So, the big thing that happened today is that, those talks have now fallen through. The talks have been brought to a halt. They're just not going to happen. They've just stopped. Those talks don't exist anymore.
Ubisoft's one lifeline is now out the window, and they have yet but to see how Shadows does.
No, they got that. That's the thing. They have one last thing that could help them.
They have one last thing.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh, it's been delayed again.
It's been delayed.
It's been delayed again. To be fair, this time it was delayed a month out of February, probably as a result of the fact that February is weirdly stacked and there's just a lot of competition, and they're probably like, listen, we should just get this out of February because it would increase the chances of people coming to us. And buying our game. Because Assassin's Creed Shadows is just if this game bombs, Ubisoft is done. If this game doesn't do gangbusters, Ubisoft is dead. This is it. This is the last chance they have. And I'll be honest,
they know it. Yeah.
After Ghost of Tsushima, I don't know how many people want Assassin's Creed Japan anymore. Not because they wouldn't like that, but because we already had it. Whatever novelty they had, this game had, is gone. It's been filled. People are more excited for Ghost of Yote than they are this.
Yeah, that's
We've
true.
seen way less of Yote. There's also
That's
there
definitely
is the
true.
Yasuke. There is the Yasuke stuff, and there's probably gonna be some people out there upset about Yasuke.
Mhm.
But I feel like that's just I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot going against this game. It's just not working. It's just Ubisoft is screwed. They're screwed.
Yeah, not really sure what they could do to get out of this one,
I hope
but
I hope
it's
Rayman makes it out and Prince of Persia. I'm sure Prince of Persia will make it out. I just hope they make it out fine.
yeah.
Another thing Proto mentioned earlier. Yeah, there is a they also released an NFT game in the last month,
Mhm.
which hey, NFTs, those are the new hip thing, really hitting while the iron is hot, making all that money.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, another one of Ubisoft's very, very reliable partners up until pretty recently, actually, was Nintendo. I don't know if you know this. The Nintendo Switch 2 is coming up.
Uh-huh.
Nintendo Switch 2 is coming up.
It's coming up.
It should be revealed in the next 3 months. Because they said it's going to be revealed and announced by the end of end of March, by the end of the fiscal year.
Uh-huh.
So we will know what it looks like in the next 3 months. Well, actually, we already know what it looks like because there's just been a kabillion leaks.
No
Wait,
way.
what? Proto, what? No, the problem with Yasuke, Ubisoft launched a pre-order of a statue of Yasuke with a nuclear survivor reference?
Oh.
What? I didn't hear about this. What?
What? Wait a minute. So you're telling me the Yasuke statue launched for pre-orders, and then they pissed off the Japanese fans
They were like, "Oh,
because
hey, we have this Yasuke statue. We're gonna let's I need what?
look that up. Look that up.
I'm trying. It's loading.
Go.
Polygon. This is from back in October. How did I miss this?
I guess
How
you
did
can't
I
win them all.
miss this?
That's
There was
crazy.
a reference. So, are they trying to be like Yasuke is a nuclear survivor or something? What happened? Oh my god!
This is not good. This is not. Can you
Oh
pull up
my-
the statue?
I mean, it won't load.
So, let me see. I can. Hang on.
I need this explained. Why isn't this loading?
See.
Okay, I could kind of like read a little bit from Game Rant. Pure Arts has pulled its 6-inch Assassin's Creed Shadow, Yasuke, and Naoe figure from sale. The company cited a quote insensitive design. The one-legged Tori in the collectible bears a striking resemblance. Oh fuck! It bears a striking
Oh.
resemblance to a monument to the nuclear attack on Nagasaki.
Yeah, they're on a destroyed Torii gate.
Oh. Now it loads. Why isn't this loading? Jesus.
I don't know.
Oh, this is bad. That's bad. Let's put them on a Torii gate that looks like the Torii gate that survived the nuclear bombing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
They say here it's like Pure Arts. Let's see who made that status. Said we recently released an insensitive design. We appreciate and have learned from the concerns brought to our attention, and we apologize for the harm this caused. After reading and processing the feedback, we've immediately returned to the drawing board and are currently reworking the design of the collector's Assassin's Creed Shadows, Yasuke, and Naoe. Stay tuned.
Oh, well, there goes the Japanese market.
I want to see the comments on this.
That's bad.
That is not good.
Well, to be honest, a lot of what I've been hearing just from people who've been looking through, it seems like one thing about Assassin's Creed games is that they are always incredibly faithful to recreating whatever country and culture they're exploring. They're always very faithful about making it like super accurate to the point that they've included modes in which you can just go around and learn and like see what this place is like. But what I've been hearing is that with what we've seen from Shadows, there's actually been a lot of inaccuracies people have found already, such as the cherry blossom trees blooming in seasons when they shouldn't be blooming.
Nice.
Well, at the same time, it'll be like, something that would pop up. It's like the cherry blossoms, they always bloom in the springtime, but there'll be like some crop that only really grows in like the fall or something. And they'll be like right next to each other. And just like it doesn't line up. And it's like very not accurate. And yeah, it really doesn't help all the backlash against Yasuke too, because a bunch of people are trying to you know, downplay him. And anything Yasuke might have had. But like, yeah, no, this is not good. God damn it.
Dude, I'm just looking through all these different embedded tweets.
What are they?
Well, like here's one from someone who's in Japanese, clearly. It says, please spread the word. Assassin's Creed Shadows figures from Ubisoft, a famous Japanese hate and criminal company. A figurine of a destroyed Torii Gate has been released, which is believed to be based on the one-legged Torii Gate that was destroyed in the Nagasaki atomic bombing. I've never seen a one-legged Torii other than the one destroyed by the American atomic bomb in Nagasaki. He said, figures from Ubisoft, a famous Japanese hate and criminal company. It's bad. It's bad.
That is awful. Oh my god.
Ubisoft has spent $500 million on game budgets before, so they either hired dollar store historians or are intentionally disrespecting Japan. There's no shot this many mistakes have been made.
I think if I'm gonna be honest, I'm just assuming this is just I think this is a lack of respect. Not necessarily they're going out of their way to be disrespectful, but I feel like Ubisoft probably just doesn't care, and this is more of a go with the theme that's proven by Ghost of Tsushima. This is our best bet to make money. Please, we need make money.
Yeah. It's definitely, they are not thorough enough. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're intending to disrespect anybody as like a ploy for marketing, because clearly it's not working, and clearly it's a dangerous move for anybody, but it definitely shows a lack of I don't care. Let's just make something. But I figured they would have at least learned by now that people pay attention to this shit. Assassin's Creed has always been about attempting historical accuracy and having a fun game in the mix.
Yeah.
Try your best to be historically accurate. Start respecting what you're drawing from. And maybe you'll make some money and not go bankrupt. I don't know. Just a thought. I'm not sure.
Ghost of Yotei looks great so far.
Ghost of Yotei looks good.
Did you play Tsushima?
I did. Of course, yeah, Sucker Punch.
It's really good.
It's a good game.
It is the best Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, it's fucking hard too. It's a good game.
Yeah. Yeah. I still need to play the DLC for Tsushima. I never played it.
I need to get the Sly Cooper cane, dude.
Anyway,
I need to get it.
What I was talking about prior to this bombshell. Well, Nintendo, there's just been like a kabillion Switch 2 leaks. I don't know if you've seen them, but we basically know what the Switch 2 looks like.
I haven't taken a big look at it, but I know it's been leaked to high heaven, yeah.
Well, here, I'm actually gonna screen share this bit with you.
Okay.
So that you can watch.
Sure.
Hold on, because I want you there's just like way too many articles and way too many leaks of the Switch 2 that I feel like it's better to just like put one as opposed to try and cover all of them.
It's loading still, so I can't see anything.
Oh, I wonder if it might be because I'm streaming.
That makes sense, yeah.
Maybe. Is it
But
still?
it's never been a problem before.
Is it good?
No,
you-
it's still loading. Yeah. So, Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's
Well,
not working out.
Just let me know when it's good. But
Yeah.
you know what? How you been, man? How you been? How you playing?
Yeah,
any
I've been pretty
video
good.
games?
Yeah, I've played a couple video games, not a whole lot of I've just been playing Rivals with some friends, and I've been playing my gachas, and that's about it. I haven't. I've been replaying Elden Ring a little bit just because I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Trying to get a better job at my current job. It's a little tricky because equal opportunity. I can't just get moved up. They have to have the hiring process, and I don't have a lot of fancy papers that are from like colleges and stuff. But I do have my experience there and general experience, so we'll see how that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's loaded now.
Oh, is it? Cool.
Just loaded.
Well, let's just watch this. I think this is the best way to summarize everything going on with the Switch 2 right now.
Okay.
That's what the Switch 2 looks like.
Like the Switch one with colored buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fixing up the drift and all
That's
that.
good.
Joy-Con drift. Did you ever have Joy-Con drift?
A little bit. I had a little bit of it.
Same. I really like the LED lights. I think the LED lights are a
Those are nice.
great thing.
Those are nice.
Oh yeah, it's also rather than just like clicking
Oh.
in, it's like a magnetic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Pete, you can play Elden Ring on it now. No shit.
This is
Like
stand.
melee.
Do you have sound, by the way? I'm curious.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it.
That's the dock. It's a much better dock. It's way less likely to scratch your screen.
Scratch your screen, yeah.
That's something with my Switch is the screen itself isn't scratched, but the glass is scratched on like the sides.
Yeah, I have a screen protector, and that's pretty scratched because of
It
that.
sure is hot out here. My armpits are
Peach?
sweaty.
What
I
the?
don't know who would ever want to
What the?
smell that. Hey Mario, want a sniff?
This isn't. Why are you? This is.
I bet this
Why did you
smells
show me
so
this?
bad.
Why did you show Why did you show me this?
Because this video is great.
That was a really good. I liked
This is
it.
a
I
great
like that
video.
video. That's funny.
That actually is basically though what the Switch 2 leaks look like. That is actually what it looks like, basically. Not the colors, but like
with the added smell-o-vision.
So the main thing is underneath the home button, there's an extra square button.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't know what that does, but that's like the main thing.
So they think it's gonna be that was joking that it's gonna be the smell-o-vision button.
Yeah, there's a smell-o-vision button.
Nice.
Smelly.
The smell-o-vision.
Well, Nintendo also now owns 100% of Monolith Soft.
Okay,
pretty cool.
that's about where it should be. Yeah, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Any worries about that?
No, Nintendo basically. I mean, Nintendo literally already owned them.
Yeah.
They owned, like, what was it? Yeah, it's a 96% stake. They owned up. They've owned 96% of it since 2011.
Oh, so this isn't really that big.
No, basically, my
just
understanding
acquired
is
the
that
rest of it.
last 4% was split amongst the founders. I
Damn.
believe. But now Nintendo owns 100%, so they probably just convinced them to sell that additional 4%.
They're like,
A
"Listen,
lot of
it's
those founders
already-"
are getting old, so they're probably just thinking about retirement.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But I don't think this is really going to change anything. I don't think this is really going to change anything.
If they own 96% already, no, I think that's not going to do
outside,
much.
like even outside of Xenoblade, Monolith Soft has genuinely been like the best thing to happen to Nintendo in the last decade.
Yeah,
Almost all of their games get support from Monolith Soft, so it's just like, yeah, Monolith Soft was probably one of the best purchases Nintendo has ever made.
That's a pretty reasonable purchase. I keep thinking about the smell-o-vision thing. Is how I was so caught off guard because I was like, this is pretty legit for a leak.
You get to smell uni feet.
It caught me so off guard. I was like, oh, okay, Peach is talking. That's an interesting thing to add in there. And it's like, Mario, I'm sweating. And it's like, smell of it.
That it smells so bad.
It caught me so off guard. I've never been caught so off guard by anything in my life. It looks so legit. They were playing playing clearly Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild music.
So good. So good.
Okay, anyway.
Well, anyway, Proto asked about Xenoblade Chronicles XDE.
Yeah, I saw they got a new
trailer.
It's new trailer. And someone brought up the UI looks a lot better.
Oh yeah, the UI looks so. Oh, you can smell Nia's minge. Smell a minge. Smell Nia minge. You smell like
also,
a wet
I can't
cat.
hear this.
Yeah, I know it's muted.
Oh, okay.
But basically, new trailer came out yesterday. I had to throw this in here. Looks great.
Yeah.
A lot of fixes, not just like graphical, but it's also like the font is bigger. The UI is just a lot cleaner looking. It just looks great. We also get a better look at a bunch of the characters and how they look now in this newer art style. It looks like what they're doing. They're taking the Xenoblade 1 DE approach where the world isn't really changed, but the character models are changed.
Are they adding anything else? Like adding things?
Yes. So we already got a tease of story in that first trailer, but the only story we saw was stuff like literally at the end of the game. Now, however, it seems as though they might be, not only will there be like an expanded ending, but it seems like there will also be some stuff seemingly strewn throughout the rest of the game too. It's not just going to be new endgame content. It's going to be the whole experience, which I think is great because this is a game where you could genuinely just keep adding to the experience and it would work great. It would work really well. A lot of this stuff people are noting is content that was planned originally, but due to decisions made during development, the game was drastically reduced in terms of story and a bunch of stuff was cut. Yeah. So this character here, the new skull and the big old helmet and all that, that's brand new. Okay. But the skull was in the art book. That character was not, but the skull was. I think the main thing at this point, at least for me, is just, is this game going to be doing any retconning to connect it back to the numbered series? Because the way Future Redeemed ends, that is a possibility. There is a possibility.
I bet it will. I bet it will.
I think there is a decent possibility. A lot of people have been very down. I say a lot of people. It's more like just a vocal minority. But there are a number of people who are like very vocal of like, no, X could never. But I am just of the mindset that like we're in an era where retcons will happen. And I don't think we should just toss out any specific, like, no, that one can't possibly be worked in because it would require more retcons. And it's like, well, I don't think so because retcons are happening whether we like it or not. So, yeah, who knows?
Well, I mean, I don't see why it would be impossible. Okay, so unless they established something in the original game that was like, okay, you can't connect it, I don't see why they couldn't add something to connect it.
The main thing people have been saying is that the way Earth blows up in X, just the way it blows up just makes it inherently incompatible with 1, 2, and 3. And again, prior to Future Redeemed, I agreed, but now again, I just don't think we should make any claims, like hard claims yet.
Yeah, I think people are just like probably speaking out of emotion on that,
Mhm.
probably because X has been so neglected for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're just
Frodo,
like, oh, there's no way.
Frodo, what's your little story about the original X?
Yeah, tell us the story.
What's the story? It'll probably be a minute because there's like a 15-second delay or something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh wait, no, there it is.
oh, okay. They screw up the original DLC for the game because you can unlock things in the progression of the story in the Japanese version. In the international version, you unlock the DLC at the end of the game. My understanding, from at least from what I remember, this might be different, but from what I remember, the DLC was just like already available in the international version. Like you didn't need to unlock it. It was just like worked in naturally because you didn't need to download it, I guess is what I mean.
Interesting.
I don't know. There were a number of issues with the original game though, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes and be able to return to Mira and re-explore Mira, get to know these characters again, explore the new area that's shown off at the end of the trailer. Just have a lot of fun. It's such a very underrated game that's very flawed that I feel as though should get way more love than it does because it's very different. It's very different. I really have not played an RPG like it.
We'll see what they do with it.
I also just want to
We'll
play
see
with the
what they
mechs
do.
again because mechs are freaking cool.
Mechs are pretty neat.
Mechs are neat.
I'll give you that. They're pretty cool. I agree.
So I don't have a segue for this next bit.
Yeah, there's
Nosferatu is a movie that I saw. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, you should go see it.
I'd like to.
But basically at the red carpet premiere, I just bumped the mic. At the red
Nice.
carpet premiere, the director, Robert Eggers, remaking Nosferatu. Because Nosferatu originally was a movie from, 1922, I think?
That was old, yeah.
It is noted for being the first cinematic adaptation of Dracula. However, the reason it's not literally just Dracula is because they didn't have the rights. It is also known as the first bootleg. It is the first bootleg Dracula.
Is the first bootleg Dracula?
It's the first bootleg Dracula, but also the first bootleg film, I think. Because
Really?
it's just
That's cool.
it's Dracula in everything but name.
Yeah.
So they filmed the movie, and then the wife of Bram Stoker threatened to sue and wanted all of the tapes destroyed. Wanted all of the reels destroyed. So they tried to appease her by changing it to Nosferatu, but that wasn't enough, and she wanted to destroy. But thankfully, we were able to salvage some of the reels. Some of them survived, and this is why we have it. It's also just like it's such incredible, like very like good quality, given a lot of old films back then aged exceedingly fast.
Yeah.
But because of it, Nosferatu has become like a very well-known film, particularly for film students and people who are into film. For the average person, they probably know of Nosferatu because of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
He was
That
the guy
one
who was flickering
sketch.
the lights.
Uh-huh.
Well, Robert Eggers, the director of this remake, wanted to thank SpongeBob for letting people know that Nosferatu exists.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for SpongeBob, I don't know if I'd know. I don't
You know,
really-
in modern
I never learned
Sponge-
about it in my film class, so
in modern episodes of SpongeBob, Nosferatu has become a recurring background character.
really?
Yeah, where it's just like Nosferatu just lives in Bikini Bottom.
That's interesting. Do you think they add that canon into the movie?
I hope so. Really hope so. Really hope so.
Because it's definitely canon now, I would imagine.
Modern SpongeBob is a interesting beast. I think it is better than it was. I think most people still think of SpongeBob as what it was in its middle years. Still not as good as those first 3 seasons. But I think current SpongeBob is better than where it was.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so at least. I just think it's a different show. And there's something to be said about like it's lived long enough to become a different show.
Uh-huh.
and like it probably absolutely should have ended years ago. But if it has to keep going, I'm not against where it is right now.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's okay.
yeah,
I'm glad it got better. I mean, that's
it's gotten
this
better.
is- it's just weird.
I watched all of SpongeBob years ago, at
Uh-huh.
least what was available at the time, and yeah, you can feel the shift once it gets. Basically, there's only ever been 3 eras of SpongeBob: the original, where the Steven Hillenburg was the showrunner, then the middle years, and then the current one with the new showrunner. And you can feel it the second that the showrunner switches from the second to the third one.
Mhm.
Oh my god, you can feel like the change is instant. Everything just looks different. It feels better. It feels different. It's just it's so much better. And that's not to say it's all good. It's just that
Mhm.
oh, this is just in general like I like this more. Middle SpongeBob sucks ass. I think it was what, season 7? 6, 7, 8? One of those seasons was
Yeah.
genuinely awful. Horrid.
That's so sad.
Anyway,
So sad.
you know what? Is some other cartoons. I guess this is a segue. Yeah, the Patrick Star Show also has Nostalgia Critic.
I forgot Patrick had a show.
Yeah, he does. And in one episode, they had Bubble Bass. Remember Bubble Bass?
I do remember.
They had
remember Bubble Bass.
They had
yes.
Bubble Bass be the Nostalgia Critic for
Really?
an episode, and it's real. It's that's another show that's like, geez, that show is. If you like it, it's great. If you don't,
Has Doug commented on that?
yes.
What did he say?
He called James Rolfe and said, "I don't think SpongeBob likes you." Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, they better add him in there.
well, you know what? Some other cartoons, anime.
What?
Anime is cartoon.
It is an anime. That
And
is
you
an
know what
anime.
was a good anime a few years ago that's still popular even now?
What's that?
Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
That's a good anime. Yeah.
Well, they
Really, really
confirmed.
good.
They've confirmed that there are new Cyberpunk Netflix animations coming, and not in the sense of like because
Really?
previously they said they were exploring more opportunities for shows, but this is outright like no, there are some in production, like straight up. We are making
Wait,
it.
so of Edge Runners.
Not necessarily. We don't know if it would be with
Just
Studio
in
Trigger
that-
again. It's just
Okay.
there are more Cyberpunk animations coming.
I mean, I would like to see if anything what happened, like an epilogue for. I mean, we kind of got that, but I'd like to see a little more.
My understanding
So
is
that
you
would
actually
be-
kind of get that in 2077 in an update.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then
I mean, there are references, but I don't know if there's like anything about what happens to like Lucy or anything like that.
my understanding is that there is.
I will have to look into that then on my own
Mhm.
time.
I
Okay.
know. What's
enough.
his name? Falco. The dude who just looks like a
Um,
cowboy. He looks like a normal dude.
Yeah. Wasn't he like voiced by Matt Mercer or something?
Something like that. Apparently he
Yeah.
cameos in a quest that was added.
Is that right?
And like
I didn't know
it's
that.
through that quest that you get more of an epilogue and more of like what happened.
Oh, I see.
He's the only character that like appears, but he's like the one who tells you. It's like through his story you learn what happened to everyone else.
Okay. I'll
But
have to
yeah,
look at that then.
it's cool. It's cool. You know what other Netflix animation has more coming?
What's that?
Arcane. Well, not Arcane, unfortunately, League of Legends, but Arcane.
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 So it's doing spin-off stuff?
It's doing spin-offs, which yeah, you could totally do that.
Okay.
And then the good news is that it seems to be it's basically just the exact same people that made Arcane are doing these shows, which is great because Arcane is phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
Arcane is incredible. I understand that Fallout won best adaptation of the Game Awards, and Fallout's a good show. It's good. I'm not upset that it won, but of those nominated, Arcane was the best one.
Didn't wasn't there like discourse about like people arguing that it was like the best adaptation of it, and like technically Arcane wasn't a good adaptation of League of Legends, but Fallout was a good adaptation of Fallout or
That
something
was a
like that.
point someone made.
Does that hold any water at all? I mean, I could maybe see it, but I doubt anybody. I
So-
doubt that had anything to do with the criteria of it winning.
I personally feel as though both are just great examples of two different ways to adapt something into like a TV show, where Fallout literally takes place in the world of Fallout. It is canon. Everything that happens in that show happens in the same world as the games. And as a result, everything is a pitch perfect recreation of what the games are like. Whereas Arcane, League of Legends doesn't have a story. It has lore, but a lot of that lore is like obscured and like just not readily available or easy to understand.
Okay.
And a lot of it just doesn't make any sense. Arcane was like, okay, well, let's take these characters and these ideas and like let's actually make a story and like make it all work. And it's like, this is the show you come to actually get the lore, to get like a proper, this is what's going on, this is the world that the game takes place in.
And it did a really good job.
Yeah, it did a great job. There are changes. But I mean, I have never played League, so I can't say they're changes for the better, but it's the sort of thing where like I look at it all, it's like all of this is just great, and I'm not seeing anyone upset. I'm not seeing anyone upset that, oh, they've changed this character's hair color.
I mean, is it weird to say, like, I have friends who play League, but they just said it was a really great show. Nothing about that, so I guess players don't really care about that stuff.
Guess so. Well,
but you'll be playing League pretty soon, right? I mean,
yeah. Well,
this is something you'll have to play this now.
Another thing. Well, actually, no. If you watch Arcane, you don't need to play League, and in fact,
is that right? Why is that?
That's a constant thing. People always say, "I'm glad you like Arcane. Don't play League of Legends." And you know what? That worked. That advice worked.
Really? Arcane success didn't translate to new League of Legends players. Go figure.
Yeah, but apparently a bunch of people made accounts, but they didn't stick around to play the game.
That's probably because they got called racist slurs in the very first match they tried.
They probably were like, "Oh, what button do I push?" And then they got called the N-word.
Yeah, or they maybe didn't like an action game that was centered around point to click. Go figure. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm sure they all tried to play Jinx, and they were like, "Why'd you lock in Jinx? The fuck? Really glad we got a Jinx lock in. That's so good. That's what we needed. We needed a support."
Kill yourself.
Yeah, kill yourself. So I'm sure that's probably what happened.
Why is the Jinx in the jungle?
Why is she jungling?
Stop juggling.
Stop juggling.
One thing I will say that I am just as an outside observer, just because I hate this kind of synergy. They did actually overhaul how one character looks in League to better match up with how he looks in Arcane. And
really,
it's the sort of thing, I don't know how people feel about it, but I hate it when like comic books do that kind of synergy where it's like, oh, this character in the MCU is different from how they are in the comics. Okay, well, we got to change that in the comics. And it's like, well, no, like I didn't like that change, or that was a silly change, or it's a change that doesn't need to be needed to be, made. And I can understand if fans don't like them changing how that character looked, because he looks drastically different in League now than he did before.
So on that subject, it's interesting that you say that, because there was also, for Jinx being the main character of Arcane, they didn't change her design or anything, but they made a skin for her, I think. So why would they change the fundamental design of that character instead of just making a skin for it? My question.
Don't know.
That's interesting.
Miss Marvel is actually the perfect example of that synergy, as Proto says, because in the MCU, Miss Marvel doesn't have stretchy powers. She has hard light powers. She's basically just Green Lantern, but it's purple.
Right.
And then in the comics, like, it's like, okay, well, maybe they just couldn't make the stretchy stuff look good, or maybe they wanted her to seem different enough from when they eventually do Mr. Fantastic. And it's like, okay, well, there's that's one thing. But now in the comics, there's this really, really awful thing they did about a year ago. I think I told you about this. Miss Marvel just died in Amazing Spider-Man, which is a book that she had no real relationship with Peter ever.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, she showed up in it, and then she died unceremoniously, and then Paul was there.
Paul
was there when Kamala Khan died. I don't know why they thought Paul should be here for this, but she died. But then, not even, like, they announced Kamala Khan is dying in this issue, and then we're gonna have a special one-shot. I think it was called, like, The Death of Kamala Khan, and it was about the characters dealing with the loss of Kamala. Well, before that one-shot even came out, they already announced they were reviving her as a mutant. Because Kamala in the MCU is a mutant. She's not an Inhuman. But now she's a mutant. And that annoyed a lot of people because, yes, Kamala Khan initially was supposed to be a mutant, but it was changed to being an Inhuman because of company politics. That was really stupid. But that was what happened. And I feel like at that time, I don't really care about the Inhumans, but I think it was really shitty to take easily the most famous Inhuman and no longer make her an Inhuman. I thought that was really unfair to the Inhumans. Well, they made her a mutant, and then she still had her stretchy powers. Well, now, as time has gone on, it's been revealed that, her Inhuman powers is stretching, but her mutant powers is hard light. And one day, she's going to have to pick between one or the other, and she can only keep the one. And I'm just dreading the day in which she chooses hard light and gets rid of stretchy.
Think they're gonna do that?
I think that's a very distinct possibility. The problem is specifically just the fact that her stretchy powers, they're not stretchy powers. They're not actually that. They seem like it, but they're not. It's embiggening. It's basically she's just making specific parts of her body bigger. She's not actually stretching her body. She is increasing the size of her body. It was all supposed to be those powers were made to be a metaphor for puberty, coming of age.
I see.
So I think to get rid of those powers
is to come of age.
No, I think getting rid of those powers disconnects her from her original creation and her original story arc. And it's like,
right, but is that not the in-house explanation for why they're doing that? The out-of-house explanation is like, we're doing it so she's farther away from the cinematic universe, but the in-house is like, oh yeah, this is what we're saying it is, but it's like,
no,
maybe that would make sense.
No, I'll be honest, I'm not sure what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it, but I'll think of a better way to explain that, but it doesn't need to be on the podcast. I'll probably ask you later.
Fingoria. She make big finger. That's her power. She make big finger. She's Fingoria.
That was such a good playthrough.
God, yeah, Fingoria. I wonder what they think of the Fingoria show.
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, this article didn't load.
Yep, secure.
What is this article?
What is this surprise?
Whatever, screw it. I don't care. Okami! Okami! Did you see this? I bet you saw this.
I did see it.
Okami is the best Zelda game in which you play as a wolf.
That I can't deny.
It is the best one. I love Okami. I'm so excited. In the moment, like, you were gone by this point. During the stream. But when this was happening, I was just like, oh, it's like some Japanese thing. But then at some point, I hear like the flute. I hear the flute. And then I like freak the hell out.
So you see
the
ring.
second I realized what the flute was. No, I am very excited. This trailer, it's like it doesn't show any gameplay, so
It's
no
just the
game, no
announcement.
hype type stuff. But it's the sort of thing where it's like, I feel like I'm a bit more inclined to be hyped just because I know what this game's gonna be like. I feel like it's more okay to be hyped for this kind of thing. But also, it has Hideki Naganuma.
Naganuma. It's a
Hideki
funky, fresh
Kamiya.
beat of a soundtrack.
Imagine Okami, but it had a Jet Set Radio soundtrack.
That'd be pretty awesome.
They should do that.
They should
Anyway,
do that.
yeah, it has
Fancy.
Hideki Kamiya. 1 year after he quits Platinum, and he no longer has to abide by the non-compete clause in his contract.
Which is
Non-compete, basically, it's like, hey, you're leaving the company. Fine, you cannot compete against us for a year.
that's an interesting clause. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, a number of companies have non-competes, and I don't like them. I think they're very silly and anti competitive market and
Yeah,
competition and
that's-
yada yada yada. Anyway, so that's the thing. This is Okami. People are calling this Okami 2. It's actually Okami 3. Did I say Konami?
because they had it. You said Konami. But yeah, because they had like a DS or something game, right?
Yeah, Okami Den, which
Yeah.
the thing I've been seeing passed around is that the director of that game said that this is not a sequel, this is a spiritual successor. So it was basically kind of meant to be like a spin-off, is what people are trying to argue. But I'm very excited for this. It looks great. I mean, it'll probably be great because it has the man back at the helm. As far as I'm aware, by the way, I think this is going to be the only sequel to a Hideki Kamiya directed game in which Hideki Kamiya himself is the one directing it.
So that's why you're excited,
Yeah, well, yes. But like,
because you know it's gonna be like the original.
Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 were not directed by Kamiya. Devil May Cry 2, 3, 4, 5 were not directed by Kamiya. Bayonetta 2, 3 were not directed by Kamiya. Beautiful Joe 2 was not directed by him. This is the only one that's getting a sequel in which he's directing it. And I think that'll be really interesting to see him make a sequel to a game he directed previously. He's just never done that. He's kind of a one and done sort of thing.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's fucking awesome.
Speaking of Kamiya, though, he issued a statement just being like very, very happy, very happy. I'm very excited. He also started a new company called Clovers, which I don't know if you know the history of Clover and Kamiya, but
I don't think so.
when Okami was originally made, he had a specific team at Capcom that was called it was called a Clover Studio.
Okay.
And now this new studio he's opening and is working on
Clovers.
Okami 2 with is called Clovers. Multiple.
Well,
So
how about that?
That's a neat little return.
That is cool. I like that. Good for him.
He also talked about how why he left Platinum a year ago. And he said that if he stayed with Platinum, it would have killed his artistic spirit.
Yeah. No, glad he left because it sounds like it was not working out for him. That's good.
Yeah, well,
No, because he wasn't really in charge of anything, was he? He was.
He was.
But
He was directing. It was called Project GG. It was supposed to be like a Ultraman styled game.
Yeah.
But that got canceled when he left. And the fact that he was like, yeah, if I left, if I had stayed there, I wouldn't have been able to maintain my artistic spirit, which is very concerning.
I
Platinum.
think he was getting micromanaged.
Yes. Thing with
Like
Platinum though. If this will load. But Platinum hasn't been having a great couple of years. A number of their games have underperformed. And the only game they've really put out recently was like Bayonetta, which sold fine. It sold fine. But they had they had Babylon's Fall, which bombed horribly.
Yeah, that did not go anywhere.
this isn't loading. I'm just gonna tell you what it is. Basically, Kamiya is not the only person who left Platinum. Shortly after he left, a bunch of people left Platinum. A number of them went with Kamiya and are now over at Clover's. But also, a lot of the other names at Platinum also left.
Just cause.
Just cause, you know, I'm sure they probably have their own reasons.
I'm sure.
But the guy who directed Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, he left. The guy who directed Astral Chain, he left. The guy who directed Bayonetta Origins, which I heard was actually better than Bayonetta 3, he left. Basically, Platinum's losing all of its talent.
Yeah, and I mean, it's gonna be hard to recruit new talent if all the old talent has left.
I think Platinum's done for.
Yeah, it might be. Where did these other people go? Did they just leave the gaming industry, or did they go to companies? Like, what do we have?
So the Bayonetta Origins guy, I know he joined another company. I don't remember what company it was, but he is confirmed he joined someone else. The other guys, we don't know where they went. I'm gonna guess the Astral Chain guy might have gone to Nintendo because he can still make an Astral Chain 2.
Yeah.
He just have to keep working with Nintendo because Nintendo owns Astral Chain. So he might have gone to Nintendo and he's just restarting development there.
Right.
Okay. But I don't know. We don't know where they went. Hello, Lights B. Yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm really happy with how all those videos turned out. By the way, I need to get you your Shadow the Hedgehog back.
Oh yeah, I need to go grab that.
Yeah, I have it right next to me here on my desk.
I mean, I'll be over shortly.
Yeah, you'll be over.
Also, give me another second. I have to be right back again.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, Taura worked on 16? Did he? Yeah, then he might have gone to Square Enix. Could have gone to Square Enix. Regardless, I don't know if we're ever going to get that Astral Chain 2. Astral Chain, I think they said that they wanted it to be a trilogy. Which, like, I'd be game for it. Astral Chain was great. It was very weird, but it was great. And I remember, I think it sold pretty decently, too. It sold, like, the same as what Bayonetta would sell. Hopefully, we'll get something. No, what are the changes for Square Enix? What are those changes? Gosh, gotta wrap this up because I wanna get some food, but I'm also watching. Gonna be watching, finishing off season 1 of Severance by my roommate tonight. Severance is a great show. You guys should all watch it. Don't look up anything about it. Just watch it. It's on Apple TV Plus. I understand. Probably don't have it. Pirate it. Pirate it. I don't know. Just do it. It's great. It's really good. It is really good. Price point for the Switch 2, I'm gonna say $350. I'm gonna say $350. The Switch came in at, I believe, $300, and I expect it'll be more than the Switch, but not that much more. It'll either be $300 or $350. I am personally leaning a bit more towards $350, but I wouldn't be surprised in either direction. If you do something to members of Square Enix or say something bad of the company, you can be banned. Can be van of the Square games. I assume you mean like banned from working on their games, and then get a lawsuit. That's what the hell. That's fucked. Yeah, Astral Chain, it did sell like 1 million plus. I liked Astral Chain. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a fun experience. Oh my god, it actually did load the picture. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It did load. It loaded this whole time. Whatever. It says here who all left. Kenji Saito. Anarchy Reigns director left. Yeah, Metal Gear Rising director left. Astral Chain director left. Abebe Tenari changed his location back to Helsinki, Finland. So he is not in Japan anymore. So he does not work at Platinum Games. Yeah, no, Platinum's dead. Long live Clovers. Platinum never loses its luster. Yeah, that's not true. I feel like Astral Chain might have been like the last like truly like everything is great at Platinum game. Like the last game they made where it's just everything is going great. I mean, maybe, but that's as far as I'm aware, that's just more of like rumors and assumptions. I do think there is a new Nier game coming because not Yoko Taro, but the producer for Nier and Drakengard and all those, he said he basically teased that there was going to be a new Nier game this year, which, like, please, dear God, I need a new one. It's been way too long. I'm actually getting annoyed that there isn't another one, but they keep doing all this stuff with it. And it could be them. It could be them. But I think there's also a pretty decent chance that a bunch of Platinum people leave and just go over to Square Enix. Seriously, I am so tired of 2B being in every single gacha game. I'm so tired of it. It's like it's lost any novelty. Any Inafune news? Not that I know of. Not that I know of. Inafune just disappeared, man. He just disappeared. He's just working behind the scenes a lot lately. I think he's just like a producer now. He's like a very like, I mean, he was always kind of a producer, but I think he just like sits behind and just like lets other people do stuff, and he just like helps people get what they want done. He enables.
I'm back and I brought birds.
Whoa, birds!
Yeah, I got the birds.
Whoa, birds! Turns out the article had loaded.
Oh,
I just
okay,
didn't
cool.
scroll down enough. Anyway, yeah, Platinum's dead. Platinum is dead.
Is it definitely dead, or is it there's still a chance?
Oh, it's on its last legs.
Because Ubisoft is lasting a lot longer than I thought it was ever gonna last.
True. Ubisoft has farther to fall though. Platinum lives off of its
other creators. It's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
Well, you know what isn't dead? Bunch of Capcom IPs, because Okami is alive and Onimusha is alive, and they said they actually want to revive a bunch of dormant franchises. Hopefully, one of them is Mega Man.
Yeah.
It's
an easy moneymaker, and they're treating them very, very well.
Mega Man, it's like they brought it back for 11, and 11 was great. It wasn't the best one, but it was great. And it's just like, and then it just went back, it went away again. It's like, damn it. We had it again, and then it went away. Bring it back, please. Another thing I would really like for them to do is I would like them to bring back Ace Attorney.
I would too. I'd like to see more Ace Attorney stuff coming out.
Why is there
I need to finish Daigyaku Tenseiban, actually.
Why is it? I did not think we would get a new Professor Layton before we got a new Ace Attorney, because Ace Attorney is like, at least they're still like re-releasing all the games.
Yeah, they're still around.
And I'm sure they sell well because they keep coming out with them, and
Right.
like they're great. But then Layton was dead. But now we have a brand new Layton just out of nowhere. It looks great. It's coming out this year. I'm very excited. Why did we get a new Layton game before we got a new Ace Attorney game?
I really don't have an answer for you. I can't really say why. Because, yeah, like you said, they're still... Ace Attorney Studio is still going. Shu Takumi, I'm sure, is still doing stuff with it, or trying to. And then I don't know anything about Level 5 and their production stuff, but, I mean...
All I really understand for Layton is the reason it's coming back is Nintendo apparently requested it. Nintendo came to Level 5 and was like, hey, we would really like it if you did another Layton game. Which is cool, because Layton is awesome. Layton games are great. But it's also just like, dang, I'm surprised Nintendo wanted Layton back. Like, Nintendo specifically. Just
maybe they realized they didn't. They wanted more of that kind of property.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what it is.
I would really hope. Yeah, no. What Proto says, I think they should do an HD remaster of Ace Attorney versus Professor Layton. Honestly,
that'd be cool.
That is like the only other Ace Attorney thing they could do right now
that I can think of. Yeah, I don't know what else they could do at this point.
They have remastered everything.
Simon. They did investigations. They did Apollo. Yep.
They've done everything. That's all they could do that's left, and that is, like legal. They got to work with Level 5 and all that, which I'm sure Level 5 would be willing to do it. But the only thing they can do now is make a new game.
Yeah, they're out.
Make a new fucking game.
I wonder what's taking them so long.
I don't know. Well,
either way,
hopefully Capcom's just been in this golden era, I feel like, ever since 2017, where like all of their games have just hit. They've all hit. Like, I can't think of any. Nope. They've had a couple of bombs, but they were typically games that, like, who was this for? They had Exoprimal. That was a miss.
Yeah,
that was a miss. But everything else they've done has been a hit. So
this is the time for if it was experimental or a risk, it would be time to take a risk.
Please.
Yeah.
Well, earlier, let's go back for a moment. Earlier, you mentioned when we were talking about Ghost of Tsushima, you said that you wanted to go back to it and get what was it?
Sly Cane.
Sly Cane?
Yeah.
Sly Cane. All those PS2 was a trinity of mascot platformers. Those are cool. Those are cool.
I like them. Big fan. Massive fan, even, I would say.
Ratchet and Clank's still around. But it's
more
still
like around.
It's more like a passion project for Insomniac, where like they'll do. I mean, now they're in the Spider-Man mines. They're in the Marvel mines.
Right.
But based on leaks and also just Rift Apart, it seems like they're setting things up where it's like, hey, for every like 2 Spider-Mans or 2 like other games, we get a Ratchet and Clank. Yeah. It's like a trade-off.
And I don't know if they know what they're gonna do about the whole like Lombax storyline, because the whole thing for the last like 18 games, it's always been about Ratchet trying to find his race. And they came so close in Rift Apart, but they still didn't do it. And it's very clear that like that's the only thing, because it's like a not huge thing that they're focusing on. It's just like a thing they do every so often. They don't know what to do after they solve that storyline. They are not going to know what to do with it, because that's Ratchet's whole thing. That's his whole story right there. It would just be that. What else would they explore?
I don't know.
Is I think what they're thinking.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, Ratchet and Clank's cool. Sly Cooper, it kind of had a bit of a revival, but it didn't
go so well.
Didn't go so well.
But get Sly 2 and 3 on the PS5. It's actually really good. I think you'd like them.
I purposefully ignored you
I
when
know you
said
did.
that the other time.
I know you did. I know.
Yeah.
I was like, it
Mhm.
makes total sense. He didn't say anything after I said that.
I think I
but
sent you a
was,
funny meme.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, that's how a lot of our conversations go.
Yeah.
So it's like it was nothing out of the ordinary. But I
Mhm.
didn't think of it anything out of the ordinary. I was like, that's a typical conversation between us. But
Well,
yeah, play it.
you know what's super fucking dead though?
What's that?
More dead than fucking Sly Cooper,
You didn't have to say that, but yeah, okay, go on.
Jack and Daxter.
You really didn't have to say that one, but you're out of line. But you're right. They're never coming out with the Jack 4, and they did release the Lost Frontier first. They released all the weird, goofy PSP games from the Trinity on PlayStation first. They did Size Matters and Secret Agent Clank for Ratchet and Clank, but not like the trilogy. They released the Lost Frontier, which technically they already had the PS4 versions of Jack 1, Jack 2, and Jack 3, and then Jack 1's PS5 emulator version. But they released Lost Frontier before the PS5 emulator version, which was interesting. But it's clearly, I don't know if they were like testing something, but if they were testing something about those franchises, I don't think that was exactly where they want to go. I don't think they want to try it with like Secret Agent Clank to see. It's like, hey, would you guys like the original like 1, 2, and 3? Like 1 Going Commando and Up Your Arsenal? Do you guys want those on the PlayStation? Well, here's how you can show us. We're gonna release Size Matters, which was good.
Size Matters is
but then
like
we're also
it's
gonna-
a good PSP game.
It's pretty decent, yeah. And then we're also going to release Secret Agent Clank, which nobody gives a fuck about.
I've heard that one's bad.
Yeah, no, it's just not. It's not a good game. And they were like, I don't know what they're trying to do with that. If they're just trying to get the whole thing, and they were just like, well, we'll start with that one, so it's available at least. But
well,
yeah, no, put Ratchet 1, 2, and 3 on the emulator.
Well, you know what is? I have to get another segue within the segue because the segue's gone on for such a long time.
Yeah.
You know what is on PlayStation, PS5? You can go play right now.
What's that?
Jack 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean that you
Wouldn't-
can. Wait, so is 2 and 3 on the emulator now?
I don't know actually. I was talking about the PlayStation 5.
Okay, because the PlayStation 4 is like the PS4 like versions you can throw out there. PS5 emulator is the different thing. If they're on PS5, they release the emulator version, which is actually critical because the PS4 ones run like shit.
Well, you can play them on there, but when you Jack and Daxter is like such a unique series. Unique games.
I would agree.
And we never really got a fourth one. Not really.
No, not really.
Not really. Well, what if I asked you this, Will? Do you want to know what freaking a Zionist thinks of religion?
What do they think of?
Do you want to know what a Zionist thinks of religion?
Yeah, I've always wondered that. That's the thing I've always been curious about.
Yeah! Let's go!
Suffering of generations
From
to
the
achieve our divine end.
God. Oh my God.
And it's loading.
Oh my God. Oh, it's like going kinda. Whatever. This is Naughty Dog's new game, and it's all about religion, apparently.
That's what's up. Naughty Dog?
No, Naughty Dog. Did you not see this?
No.
Oh,
I saw that you put it on there. I didn't actually look at it now.
This is the new Naughty Dog game.
This is the new Naughty Dog game. Okay.
This got revealed. It was the last thing from the Game Awards. I'd assumed you saw this by now.
I should have, but I really didn't.
Well, shit. I could have done like a whole reveal of like, oh, watch this.
I kind of felt like one if that makes you feel any better.
I guess so.
It did feel like one.
People are really not super plus towards it right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, so obviously with the segue joke, go into it. What exactly are we looking at here?
So all we really know is
Mhm.
this is a sci-fi. We're out in space fantasy, or maybe not even space fantasy. It might just be space, but it's
Mhm.
basically uh we're out in space, and I believe you play as a bounty hunter or something, and
Mhm.
you're running around trying to do something. I don't know. This is just a mood tone trailer. It doesn't tell you shit about what you're actually doing.
Mhm.
Uh, it's just like the attitude of it is just so like been there, done that. There's some cool
Yeah.
imagery, but a lot of the attitude of this trailer just feels like there's this one part here. I'm gonna skip to it.
Mhm.
And I'll put on the
You know what I worry just right about?
Okay.
I say we wait for him to leave, or how about we find a new lead? He's not worth it. I'm wasting my time, aren't I?
kind of
Can you please?
you kind of see what I mean, where it's just
I'm
like
getting the yeah.
there's just like an
Yeah.
attitude to it that a lot of people are just like not plus towards. Not only that,
Like
but like
the nonchalant protagonist
kind of yeah.
sort of thing too.
But it's also
as
just
well.
like it's Neil Druckmann. It's Neil Druckmann, and people do not like Neil Druckmann.
That's true. They don't. Hey.
Yeah, Camille Nanjiani's in it.
Mhm.
Actually, another thing. There's another person in this that people had to like decipher and make sure it was had to like go back and make sure that it was him. Let it play for a moment. See that picture?
Is that Lalo?
That's yeah, it's Tony Dalton. It's Lalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Okay.
And also Camille Nanjiani. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But it's just in general like this trailer. Like people came away from this where it's just like, I just don't. A lot of people are just like not super hyped. There's just very much a been there, done that. And then the more we kind of learned about it, where it's like, oh, the game is actually apparently about a religion that's false, and it's like
Oh.
Neil
We're gonna get to
Druckmann
that
is a
territory,
known
yeah.
Zionist.
This will
So,
be interesting.
People are not very. They are not plussed. They're not plussed about all this. So
I'm excited to see what happens when it releases.
yeah. Well,
I kinda wanna
we
see
do
what
get like a
happens
little
there.
snippet at the end of what what gameplay might look like.
Yeah.
But I feel like this just isn't enough to tell us anything. Honestly, I'm more surprised that this isn't a Last of Us 3. Because Last of Us 3 is absolutely coming. Ellie's story is not done. Based on how she ends at the end of 2, I just like everything, and then looking at like interviews and stuff, like I just get this feel like, no, this story isn't over. This isn't over. There's gonna be a third game that will be like a proper end to Ellie's arc.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm surprised that's not what next we got. Hey, it's Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. That popped up for a
Hey,
second.
look at that. Cool.
That's a great game. I want a sequel for. But yeah,
Yippee-ki-yay.
yeah, people are just not plussed about this. I could have. I was like so confident you knew about this already.
I'm gonna be honest. I had no idea. Because things I got, you know how I am with my news. I get them in bits and pieces. But if the stars don't align, and I don't see anybody talking about anything, which I know we're surprised that I didn't see people talking about it at least, or at least saying they're not excited. I did not get any wind of this this trailer. No.
Well, I would assume that you would just because it's Naughty Dog.
Because it's Naughty Dog, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
you would have at least learned that they announced a new game.
I had no idea.
Damn.
I had no idea.
Damn. Well,
But it's good to see that we have something that's whatever here. I mean,
well,
that's
you can
great.
watch it on your own time and kind of get a feel for it, make your own opinion.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll
Um,
see what I think about it.
I think it's just, yeah. I think it was also the fact that this was being hyped. This was the last thing at the game to be revealed at the Game Awards, and it was like, you always save the best for last.
Right.
And there's also just kind of like people just getting like real tired of it. Where it's also just like people people look at Last of Us and it's like Last of Us is it like Neil Druckmann is held up to such like a high degree by like the media, but a lot of people don't actually think what Neil Druckmann has done is comparable to like what a lot of other creators have done.
Yeah.
Like Neil Druckmann hasn't done anywhere near the like he hasn't earned the same level of like praise that like anywhere near the same level of praise as like what Kojima has made.
Yeah.
But Kojima gets shit. And he deserves it because he gets so much like red carpet treatment that yeah, he absolutely deserves to be shat on when people see him and all that stuff. Not to say I don't love him and I love it when he shows up, but it's also like, yeah, I get it. Neil Druckmann, I feel like it's like he made what two games that were
heavily involved in,
yeah, he made Last of Us and Last of Us 2 and then Uncharted 4, and then it's like he just gets propelled and held on the same pedestal as Kojima, and it's like, well, a lot of people, I think there's kind of a resentment there almost. There's like a resentment of just like, well, why this guy? Why this guy? Like, it's not necessarily what he made was bad. It's just that like I don't know if he's done to the same degree, if he's earned it.
Well,
I think people are just getting really annoyed with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like gamers and what the majority of them are versus what the majority of what he makes is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's something people don't really care about. I don't know. I don't. I'd like to have an opinion on it, but I really don't have a strong opinion on it.
I get it. I get you.
But I also see why people aren't super enthused. It doesn't look particularly crazy. Sony drop. That's cool.
For me, I'm personally just kind of annoyed with all the product placement. Very few things I feel like make product placement work. And I think it just doesn't. It especially I think it just hurts also just like the fantasy of this, where it's like, this is a Porsche. This is a Porsche spaceship.
Porsche. Mm-hmm.
That is a Sony CD player. That is the Pet Shop Boys. All that. But then at the same time, it's like it's trying to go for this like 1980s sci-fi like aesthetic. 1980s futurism. But it's also trying to do like anime from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
But it's not even a real anime, yet it's able to get Porsche.
There's a lot to unpack in this game, that's for sure. And we don't know. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of its own. It's definitely its own flavor of whatever it's going for sure. But also a flavor that's already done.
I'm sure it'll sell millions.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's just kind of a matter like for me personally, I'm not impressed so far. I've watched this and I just feel tired.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel like tired or anything, but I definitely am just like, okay, I'm not gonna think about this later. Like I'm not gonna consider it when it comes out. I'm not gonna know it dropped.
I'm feeling more emotion from the fact that you didn't know about this. I was like so confident you knew.
I mean, doesn't it not make a statement about the game itself that I didn't know about it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a good point.
What I mean?
That is a good point. Well, anyway,
let's leave, we can leave it at that because there's another good piece of thing of news here that you have.
Yes, and I kind of want to eat, but I think this is a great last thing to end off on.
Mm-hmm.
Astrobot wins Game of the Year.
Yay, Astrobot!
Yay, Astrobot! It deserved it. It deserved it. I saw a lot of people, a lot of Atlas fans, really upset and angry that it wasn't Metaphor. And it's like, listen, I get it. Metaphor is great. Metaphor is great. Astrobot.
Just Astrobot.
Astrobot's fucking rad.
Astrobot's great. It's just full of plenty of feel good stuff. Too.
Yeah, it's such a feel good game. I think the funny thing about this acceptance speech is that around like halfway through, he clearly, the guy giving the speech is clearly going off script as being more impromptu, and it's probably something he talked about wanting to do, but then was told no. So so once he starts doing it, he has to be like very indirect, and he absolutely got a talking to when he went home.
Yeah.
But he basically thanks Nintendo in his acceptance speech.
Oh, that's awesome.
He thanks
Love
Nintendo
to see that.
because he talked about how like Nintendo was the company that inspired him to want to make games like this.
Yeah,
And that
I mean,
he would not be where he is if not for Nintendo.
like I get it, but at the same time, it's like you can see where it would be like, all right.
So
you shouldn't have said
PlayStation
that.
was like, "Do not mention our competitor in your acceptance
Yeah.
speech." And he was like, "I want to do it though." So he probably did it. He
I
he
support him.
absolutely. I support him. He should
I
thank whoever
support
he
him.
wants to thank.
Yeah, like
If it was
and
a-
it's good faith. It's good faith too.
If
I
someone
mean, it's
from
nice, it's like-
Nintendo, if someone from Nintendo wanted to thank a guy from PlayStation in their Game of the Year acceptance speech,
yeah,
let them. Let them. It's their moment. Let them thank who they
Mhm.
want to thank.
yeah, it absolutely is, and it's
Mhm.
like it's not. It's in good faith. It's not bad to, even if it's your competitor. I don't think it's a bad idea to thank who inspired you for it. I mean, everything comes inspired from something.
The whole deal
Right?
of the
It's
Game
not
Awards.
a secret.
The whole deal of the Game Awards is supposed to be a celebration of video games as a medium.
Yeah,
Let people celebrate video games as a medium.
it's a good way to put it. Yeah, like let
Mhm.
people like this is kind of no man's land. You can like anything should go here. Like, hey, we all love video games. Don't care about the market.
Good sportsmanship,
good
like
stuff.
Light says. Good sportsmanship.
That's a good way to put it. Yep.
Yeah.
Good
Well-
sportsmanship.
That was the last thing we had. I'm getting hungry.
I'm also getting very hungry,
Yeah.
so I am right on track to cut this shit off and then
Yeah.
go eat my food.
Well, thank you all for joining us for the first episode of The Demon Haunt. That
Thank
was
you
the
very
twist.
much.
For anyone who showed up later, that was the twist.
It's not because Mark stole the name. He saw us and he saw the
100%.
name.
That was it. That's
my-
why I changed it.
Yeah, my birds
100%.
are getting excited because they know even that's a fluke. It was actually genuine. He just stole the name.
I got
Right,
some
Bird?
bad news about Dragon Ball Daima, which actually I thought about that because Mark's podcast thing relates to the fact that it's about Dragon Ball Daima. Apparently, the English dub of Daima is releasing 1 episode a week.
Okay.
God damn it! I want to watch all of it now. God damn it! Just catch up. Make it simuldub.
How far is the sub at right now?
I think it's like at 12
Okay.
episodes or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But also, I already know the first 3 episodes of Daima is all done because I watched them.
Yeah, so I think
Watched
I'm
all
gonna
of
stop
them.
and wait for it to catch up, and then I'm gonna watch them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
The first 3 episodes of the dub were really good. I liked them a lot. Stephanie Nadolny,
Good.
it's great to have her back. Though you can, her performance, there's a very clear mix of it's a mix of her performance and how she wants to handle the character has changed, but also
Yeah.
she can't really perfectly recreate that older performance, but also just
There's
her
Dewey.
voice has aged. Dewey! Oh!
There's Dewey.
Oh,
I
it's
told you it was
Dewey.
Dewey.
That's what
There's
you're
Dewey.
talking about.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
Dewey.
you're
Yeah,
talking
that's,
about. Ah,
that's what he was looking at.
Dewey,
Dewey.
right there.
There's Dewey
Yeah.
from Malcolm X.
No, it was the response. This was a response to a Superman comic that I'm very excited for. Has
okay.
been delayed a couple of months. It was supposed to release in March, but now it's releasing. We don't know. It's probably going to release in July to coincide with the release of the movie. Because imagine having a brand new Superman movie that is tracking to do incredibly well, and then also having, oh, look at this. Adventures of Superman, the Book of L, #1. Oh, I should pick that up. I like the movie. I'm going to go read some comics now. There's a #1. I'm going to pick that up. So they're probably delaying it to coincide with the movie. And then people are bummed out because this is a very highly anticipated book.
Yeah. And there's Dewey.
And then there was Dewey. And then Superman with PTSD. Anyway, yeah. Go read Superman Warworld Saga. It's fantastic. It is one of the best modern Superman stories in
Superman
decades.
War World Saga. Okay.
Great.
Got it.
Great. Anyway,
All
I'm gonna
right.
go eat. You all have a nice day. We'll probably. I'm gonna be going to I don't know if I told you this, bro, but I'm going to Magfest at the end of the month.
You did mention it.
Yes.
You weren't sure, but now it
I'm gonna
looks
be
like you're
attending
doing
Magfest, and as a result, probably the next Demon Hunt we do will be after Magfest.
Mhm.
And we'll spend some time and I'll talk about my experiences. Because there's gonna be a number of indie games there, and I'd want to check them out. I think it'd be a nice little place to do some networking. Also, it'd be cool to meet
Yeah.
some people that I know online that I also know is going to Magfest. So it'd be cool to meet them in person.
it. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Dude,
I'm
it's gonna
happy
be
for
just
you.
outside of DC. It's gonna be cold.
Yes, it is.
I'm not
Cold
looking
and full of traffic.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that.
Nope.
Mm.
You
Okay.
enjoy that.
Well, you all have a nice time. I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go watch the ending of Severance. Bye-bye.